Let's go Broncos! Something is happening behind the scenes in Denver, and almost no one is talking about it as they should. While the spotlight is on other teams making big, flashy signings, a silent shift is occurring, and it could completely alter the balance of power in the AFC. The kind of shift that makes you stop and think, are the Denver Broncos really one step ahead of everyone else now? Because when you start connecting the dots, rivals making questionable decisions, key players in Denver recovering, and a coaching staff more focused than ever, it starts to look like something bigger is being built. Something dangerous. And I'm going to explain it all to you. But before we go any further, I need to know who's really rooting for this team. If you truly believe the Broncos are about to surprise the league this season, click the like button right now. And I want to see the real fans in the comments, right, go Broncos! This is our year. If you are 100% optimistic about what's to come. Because what I'm about to show you could completely change your perspective on this team at the start of the season. Now let's get straight into what's really going on. There's a growing sense of confidence inside the organization, and a big reason for that comes from what's happening around the league. According to a major report highlighted in Bleacher Report, some of the worst offseason moves in the entire NFL were made by teams that stand directly in Denver's path. Let's start with the Indianapolis Colts. Not only did they make the list once, they showed up multiple times. The biggest issue? A massive financial commitment to Daniel Jones, a move that raises serious questions about their long-term direction. From a Broncos perspective, this is exactly the kind of decision that weakens a potential rival. When a team that beat you last season takes a step backward, that's a quiet win in the offseason. Then you look at the Kansas City Chiefs, and things get even more interesting. They committed significant money to a running back who has never truly carried a full workload consistently. On top of that, there are rumors they might invest even more draft capital at the same position. Meanwhile, their salary cap is already stretched thin with big contracts across the roster. And the biggest question becomes, are they actually helping Patrick Mahomes enough? Because from the outside, it doesn't look like it. And here's the key difference, you don't see the Broncos anywhere near that bad moves conversation. Not even close. Why? Because this team brought back 94% of a roster that won 14 games last season. That kind of continuity is rare. That kind of stability is dangerous for the rest of the league. Now let's talk about the New England Patriots, a team that still leaves a bitter taste for many Broncos fans. There's a clear contrast in how organizations are being run. While Mike Vrabel appears to have a more limited role in roster construction, Sean Payton is deeply involved in every layer of this team. He's not just coaching, he's evaluating talent, shaping the roster, and building the identity from the ground up. That level of control matters. That level of detail is what separates good teams from championship contenders. And speaking of talent, one of the biggest offseason additions is already creating buzz. The Broncos brought in a top-tier wide receiver, and early footage shows exactly why there's so much excitement. Explosiveness, sharp routes, and a clear connection building with Bo Nix. You can already feel the anticipation building towards September. On top of that, there's more good news. Bo Nix is recovering well from his injury, already appearing without a cast, and looking on track to return strong. Meanwhile, Nick Bonitto, who battled through injuries and even underwent surgery, is also trending in the right direction. The core of this team isn't just intact, it's getting healthier. And don't forget what this team already accomplished. 14 wins. Wins against playoff teams. A 4-2 record against postseason caliber opponents. This wasn't a fluke. This wasn't a soft schedule story. This was a team proving it could compete with the best. Now here's where things get even more intriguing. There are whispers, real whispers, about one more potential move before the draft. A big one. The name gaining traction? A dynamic running back from the Miami Dolphins who could be available due to contract tensions. The asking price? Potentially a late first-round pick. But here's the dilemma. Do the Broncos really need to make that move? With players like J.K. Dobbins and R.J. Harvey already in the system, and with Harvey still on a rookie deal, the skill set might already be there. Is it worth sacrificing valuable draft capital for something you may already have developing internally? This is where Sean Payton's philosophy becomes critical again. He's not just chasing talent, he's building a balanced, sustainable roster. And when you step back and look at the full picture, rivals making questionable moves, Denver maintaining stability, key players getting healthy, and a coaching staff fully aligned, it's hard not to feel like something special is building here. And that's exactly where things start to get even more intense, because when you look at how Sean Payton is operating right now, it feels like he's playing chess while the rest of the AFC is still figuring out checkers. You've got division rivals making risky financial decisions, questionable roster moves, and in some cases, just flat-out mismanagement of talent. Meanwhile, inside Denver, everything is calculated. Everything has a purpose. And that's why the idea of making one final splash move before the draft isn't as simple as it sounds. Because let's think about this for a second. If the Denver Broncos were to go all in and trade a first-round pick for that explosive running back out of the Miami Dolphins, you're not just adding talent, you're committing long-term money, years of control, and shifting the balance of your roster. And yes, the upside is huge. We're talking about a player who can change the game with one touch, who brings speed, versatility, and that home run ability every offense dreams about. But at the same time, is that what this team actually needs right now? Because when you look at what's already in place, there's a strong argument that Denver is built to win as is. You've got Bo Nix entering the next phase of his development, and everything we're seeing suggests he's ahead of schedule in his recovery. That matters more than anything. A healthy, confident quarterback in Peyton's system can elevate everyone around him. Then you factor in the backfield. J.K. Dobbins brings experience and explosiveness when healthy. R.J. Harvey is still developing, still growing, and already showing flashes of being a dangerous weapon. And the biggest advantage? Cost control. You're getting production without sacrificing future flexibility. And that's something teams like the Kansas City Chiefs are starting to lose. They've tied up money in multiple positions, and now they're forced into decisions that don't always make football sense. That's how dynasties start to crack, not overnight, but slowly, piece by piece. Now compare that to Denver. You've got continuity, 94% of the roster returning. You've got a locker room that already knows how to win together. You've got key players like Nick Benito getting healthy and looking explosive again. And you've added a top-tier wide receiver who already looks locked in and ready to make an immediate impact. That's not a team that needs to gamble. That's a team that needs to stay disciplined. And that's where Sean Payton separates himself. He's not chasing headlines. He's building something sustainable. He's deeply involved in scouting, in evaluating, in making sure every single piece fits the vision. While other coaches might rely heavily on front office decisions, Payton is in the room, in the film, in the details. That's why his late-round success stories exist. That's why he consistently finds value where others don't. So if he makes a move, you trust it. But if he doesn't, that might be the biggest statement of all. Because it would mean he believes, truly believes, that this roster is already strong enough to take that next step. That the difference between last season and a Super Bowl run isn't one blockbuster trade. It's internal growth, health, and execution. And when you look at how close this team already was, 14 wins, strong performances against playoff teams, a season that could have easily been even better, you start to realize how dangerous that belief can be. The AFC is shifting. The Indianapolis Colts are dealing with questionable decisions. The New England Patriots are still figuring out their identity. The Chiefs are walking a financial tightrope. And right in the middle of all of that, the Broncos are steady, focused, and quietly getting stronger. So now it comes down to this next step. Do you make the big move and go all in right now? Or do you trust Sean Payton's vision, trust the development of your young core, and believe that this team, exactly as it's built today, can bring a championship back to Denver? Let me know what you think, and if you're still here with me, make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, and check out the next video on your screen because we're going even deeper into what this team could look like once the season kicks off.